Hey everybody, it's Matt. This is the 10-Minute Bible Hour podcast, and I'm excited because this is the first day of a new thing. This is the beginning of the second series that we've ever done on this podcast. The first one, which wrapped up a couple days ago, was on Matthew, and I have never dove so deep into anything in the Bible ever in my whole life as I did on that book. 800 episodes we shared together. Yeah, it's a lot. But we did it, and I learned a ton, and I had a blast, and I got to connect with so many of you. But now we're starting the second thing, and what we're going to do here is not go through just a book of the Bible. We're going to go through all the Bible, but pretty quickly. We're going to cover every book of the Bible, one book per day, until we're done in this series. So in the coming weeks, my hope is that we're going to get a much better sense together of what's going on in each book of the Bible and a better sense together of why each of those books are in the Bible. What purpose does each book serve in the grander sense of what's going on with the Bible in general? My thinking is that by putting it on a podcast called the 10-Minute Bible Hour, where we just don't have a ton of time, that it forces us to weight each book of the Bible equally with all of the others. So we can just line them up next to each other and see how they relate and see how they fit together. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be useful. If I haven't spelled this out clearly enough already, let me just spell it out harder now. I really find this content interesting. I'm fascinated by the Bible. I'm a Christian. I've gone through the ups and downs of faith. I know what it's like to be a not Christian, but I just think this book is wildly important, whether you are a person of Christian faith or any kind of faith or no faith whatsoever. I think it's wildly important if you're a person who was a Christian and you got hurt and you got dinged up and you don't quite know what to do with it now. I still think this is where you can go to find answers and to keep that process moving forward, to keep it from stalling out, because I know what it's like to be there. I think there's a God that made everything, and I think God is behind the Bible. I think the Bible is accurate. I think it says what God means for it to say. I think it says that using a wide variety of verbal and literary techniques. I think it does that using a wide variety of genres. I think it's a book that begs for careful thought and reflection and interpretation. I also think on a lot of levels, it's really simple and straightforward. I definitely have very high optimism that the Bible can be understood by normal people. I mean, I hope so. I'm a normal person and I want to understand the Bible. But I guess that gets me the question of why. Why do I care so much? Well, like I said, I think there's a God behind it, not just a God. I think the God who made all the things is behind the Bible. And I'm getting to a place where I'm looking at the second half of life. I can start to see that taking shape a little bit. And that raises some big questions. I don't know how to do everything about life. I don't know how to answer all of the big questions. If indeed there is a God who made everything and who is still interested in what's going on in this world that often seems very chaotic, and if the Bible is from that God, I would really want to understand it better. It seems like in this world of chaos and noise and lying and politics and advertising and all the other things that makes it so hard to get to any of that sweet, pure clarity or truth, it seems like the Bible holds itself out as providing that. And so I want to understand it better. And I'm guessing that if you're here, you want to understand that better as well. Maybe because you're a very empathetic person and you know religious people in your life, Christians in your life, and you know this book is important to them and you just want to understand it better. I think that's hugely commendable. I'm thrilled that you would do this. I think that's a wildly mature, intellectually mature reason to have an interest in studying the Bible. Awesome. I think there are probably others of you here who hope that there's a deity behind it, that there's something bigger than us, but you're not sure. Well, I think that's a great reason to want to get a big overview of the Bible and try to understand it. I'm guessing there are a bunch of you who are here who want to understand the Bible because, like me, you think God is behind the Bible and you would like to understand it and him and life and existence and reality and what happens next better. And like me, you suspect that there might be value in stepping back from the specifics for a minute to try to get a broad view of the whole thing at once and how it fits together. Look, wherever you're coming from, if you're here and you are hearing this, I'm glad our stories have intersected right here, and I'm very excited to learn with you. Okay, there's all of that. Tomorrow, we're going to start with the book of Genesis. Might need a couple of extra minutes to make that one work because it holds itself out as covering a larger time frame than all the other books of the Bible combined. I mean, it covers like infinity of time. So there's a lot there, but we're going to go through the story. We're going to look at the big themes and the points and cover some of the nuts and bolts of it. Who wrote it? Where did this stuff happen? What are the big questions coming out of it? And hopefully in all of that, it's just abundantly clear why the book of Genesis is in the Bible. And then we'll be on to Exodus the next day and straight on through in the classical order of books in the Bible until we're done. No matter where you're at in life, no matter what you have going on, no matter when you're listening to this, I could not be happier that you're here, and I can't wait to see what we learn together. All right, I think that's it. Tomorrow, Genesis. I'm Matt. This is the 10-Minute Bible Hour Podcast. Let's do this again soon.